Shayla.
Awesome. Well, we have to get into the celebrity news. We have to talk about, one of the queens of entertainment and rap, Nicki Minaj, had her baby. She had her baby. She is the mother officially of a son.
She's a boy mom.
She's a boy mom.
Good for her. Baby was fine. She good?
The baby's fine. She's good. She hasn't released a bunch of information about the baby just yet. I don't even know if her man is free from jail, but that's neither here nor there. Sip on your tea. I'm hoping that he is. For the family.
So he may not even have been there to see the birth of his baby. That's unfortunate. What's he in jail for?
I think I can't even remember what happened.
Yeah, I feel like there was something funky with that because then he used to like little children and like he liked little girls or something
that
like that.
That was her brother, but
I thought they said her boy. I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up. We got to go back over this because
I gotta figure this out.
It's been a lot going on.
It's been a minute
with that situation. Although we are very happy that she is having a baby.
Had a healthy baby. She's good. Plastic surgery didn't impede on anything. Go her. That's great.
Woo! Right, because these girls out here, I'm like, can you breastfeed?
She probably don't even care. I mean, I did read some women, if you do, like that doesn't necessarily mean preclude you from breastfeeding. If you, it depends on the surgery and all of that. Girl.
And everybody ain't got the best doctor, but I'm sure she did.
You know what? Hey, she's a boy mom. Go ahead, Nicki.
She's a boy mom. So congratulations to Nicki Minaj. Also, we have to talk about our reality TV now. We want to talk about Black Ink Crew. So Caesar recently moved to Atlanta and he recently bought a new home. Congratulations to Caesar, the Black Ink King. Really excited for him and just being a mogul and just, doing a lot of positive things for the community. So really excited to see him growing his businesses and also moving into his fabulous new home. But for Black Ink Chicago, we have to talk about Ryan Henry. Do you guys know Ryan Henry?
No.
Okay.
No.
He's a very attractive guy. He's the owner of the shop in Chicago and he does Black Ink, Chicago. He recently slept with his best friend's baby mama. And he came out and he apologized for the people that he has hurt. Now, if you know Ryan, he's a really good looking guy. He actually slept with Caesar's girl. Him and Caesar were actually friends.
So he's a hoe.
He's a hoe.
Okay.
He's a bona fide hoe. But sleeping with your best friends, I mean, him and Caesar weren't best friends, but they had a mutual respect for each other. They, were both shop owners and he did that. But yeah, he slept with his best friend's baby mama.
Is she pregnant?
She's not pregnant yet. He stated, I hurt people that I care about badly. I've disrespected myself and my family. He also
I wonder who his publicist is because that was really nicely written.
Hello?
Right.
He also said that he made toxic choices when he was in a dark place.
That's a good publicist.
Yeah.
Good publicist. Really playing off of the emotions, but yeah, bruh.
Is this his first affair?
No. Oh, no.
That's why I said it's his publicist. No.
He's had plenty. He's cheated on the mother of his children. I mean, she's moved out. I mean, he was actually at one point in time, he was actually sleeping in the shop because he had nowhere to go. And it's just been a mess on top of mess on top of mess when it comes to him and his whole behaviors. But clearly he can't.
Maybe this will be his rock bottom and he'll get his life together.
Yeah, right. Repeat offender. Man, get your life together, Ryan Henry. Get your life together. You know what? Just don't be married. Is he married?
He ain't married, but you know.
Oh yeah, don't get married.
He really wanted to get. He claimed he wanted to get back with the mother of his children, but I mean, it's only so many times that a woman can get screwed over before she's done, and that was the place in which she was. She was done with him. She didn't want to feel any more pain from him, and
you know,
rightfully so.
But better yet, Ryan Henry, why don't you just put a tattoo on yourself that says "Don't do it"?
Don't do it. Don't.
Just say no.
Just say no.
No, he got Nike. Just do it. Just,
doing it all, okay? He can't stop
just
doing
do
it,
it.
all right? But will be very
Do
interesting to see. I mean, clearly they can't be friends anymore. Do you think you could be friends with somebody that slept with your man? Or
no. And depending on the day, you know, I don't know who's gonna make it out. You know, it depends on a lot. But could we be friends after you've slept with my husband? That's a no for me, dog. We not. Nope. What we gonna talk about?
Right.
we gonna compare notes? What we gonna do?
right, because we got like more in common than we ever had.
Hey, what we gonna talk about?
But yeah,
And you knew that was my husband, girl.
Right. No. Both of them getting axed. It's a wrap.
It's just a lot. It's a lot, and I don't see it recovering. But you know, we're just gonna move right on. So I wanted to talk about this clip that I saw. It was Claudia Jordan. You guys know her. She's on Fox Soul, and she went on discussing how Trump had stuck his tongue in her mouth twice when she was on The Apprentice. And this is also while he was married to Melania. And she said she had to remind him that he was married. And he also told her that she doesn't need to be with a black man because they ain't got no money. Did y'all hear about that?
I have not heard about that.
Ew.
I have so many questions.
Yuck. Did she disinfect
My first
her
question
mouth?
is, how did he get so close where he could put his tongue in your mouth?
Right. You had to either say back up or you allowed him in your space, honey.
You know, okay, let's think about this. Is way before he was president.
Me too, yeah.
He's running this show that you're on. And maybe, you know, we know he's known to grab him by the pussy and all of that. I mean, when you have, I mean, we've seen it with men of power, and it's starting to change a bit, but it hasn't changed for Trump. But you feel like you can just do whatever you want to women around you. And I want to stand up for the women because I feel like we're always like, okay, well, why did you do this? No, why did this man invade your space?
Let's clear that up now, for sure. I'm not blaming her at all. I usually side with the woman until, you know, if there's other evidence and facts, because unfortunately there are some dishonest, snaky women. who manipulate things so that they can get to their advantage. I think, you know, the woman who got Emmett Till killed is like a prime example of, you know, how people manipulate that. So yes, for sure. That's usually where I side. I'm just like, she probably was so thrown when he got, like, I could imagine him, because he's so disgusting. Like, I could imagine him being like, oh, and then just slipping it on in there. And I think to your point, yeah, he was a man in a position of power on a show that she was trying to win. And so I'm assuming she thought it was a delicate balance of how she could advocate for herself and also still be on the show. And so her way of doing that was to be like, well, what about your, you know, marriage and all of that? And he don't care.
But would you not have like a natural reaction? Like if somebody steps to you, regardless if they hold a position of power, if someone steps to you and decides to put their tongue, or is it not a reaction to be like,
or bite it?
I mean, is that not just a natural reaction? I'm sorry. I mean, I know you said she's not at fault.
Well, there's power dynamics. It makes it complicated when there are power dynamics. It really does. Because when you start seeing stuff and you start seeing trends, like I watched the Jeffrey Epstein documentary.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Which like blew my mind. When there are power dynamics, it changes like what your reactions are, how you mute yourself, how you respond, how you think you'll have consequences, how like there's a lot of like psychological things that come into play with that. My thing is, I mean, I'm gonna skip over that because that's just too complicated and emotional for a lot. What he mean Black people don't have no money?
Right. He said Black men do not have any money, so don't even bother or waste your time with them. She said she reminded him that he was married, but he wanted to make it known. Black
men don't have no money.
And that is the truth.
Jay-Z would disagree.
Right. He would. But I think that this is very telling of how he thinks and what he wants. He wants to keep us broke.
Yeah.
He does.
I mean, America wants that.
Right.
That's why we don't have reparations for slavery.
Exactly. But he said it, and he said it to her. Now, you guys remember one of my good favorite groups, you know, very, very short-lived, but Danity Kane. You remember the girl. Danity Kane was, tell me Danity Kane.
We in the car, we ride slow, we do it, what?
Hey.
I love Danity Kane.
Hey, I'm gonna have to open up that record tonight. But Aubrey, which was one of the main singers, well, and she's had a lot of controversy over the years, let's be honest. She said, she made this statement on her, I guess it was her Instagram. Diddy has mismanaged artists and stolen their money his whole career. Facts. Including Danity Kane. And now he's showing up with 18 days left before the election to get Trump out of office. When I was on The Apprentice, Trump used to tell me daily how him and Puff were good friends. And we will say this. I mean, he recently did an interview with Charlemagne. He's been such a big advocate of, you know, going against Trump and everything that Trump has had to say. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
What, Diddy saying he's against Trump, or him stealing all the artists' money?
No, we know that that's facts.
Oh,
he didn't do that.
I could run down everyone in that way who's no longer.
If in fact him and Trump were friends at some point in time, how do you feel about him changing his mind and basically saying, you know, nothing about them having an actual friendship?
They probably were. I think a lot of, cause, you know, a lot of rappers mentioned Trump. I mean, because Trump was associated with money, you know, and that's what they were rapping about, money, you know. I mean, when you think of money, who do you think about? You know, Trump. And now that was, of course, before President Trump, which showed a completely different side. So now I'm sure these people are like, I don't want to be associated with this numbnuts here because he's just dumb. But back then, you know, when Trump's lane was money and building these, you know, empires, and that's what it was all about, you know, just getting money by any means necessary. And now, you know, he's just the king of lying. So, and of course, they're going to want to be like, oh, no, what I really meant was, no, what you really meant was back then, you liked that Trump who, you know, had all the money and the power. That's what you wanted to be like, because that's what you put in your song. But now you got Trump who's telling people to drink some Clorox bleach. Wow. Well, I really admired him then, but I don't admire this Trump. So, but say that, but say that. All you got to do is say, you know what? I admired the way that he was mishandling his money, but the way that he dealt with money and the way he amassed his fortune. But I don't like this Trump who doesn't know how to run a country, who doesn't know how to be a leader. Just come out and say it, because we all have choices of people that we thought I thought that she was like this, but oh, it's really like this. It's okay, but don't lie about it. Diddy.
That's true.
I mean, Diddy's. I don't expect much outside of that. I always remember making the band, and I remember Sarah was supposed to be a part. Was she supposed to be a part of Day 26? She was, right? I can't remember if it was Day 26 or one of the other ones. But anyways, long story short, that lawyer was like, "Don't sign that contract," and they kept doing contract negotiations, and he ended up being like, "Well, then you can't be a part of the group." And I don't know what happened to Sarah, but I'm glad she didn't sign the contract. So that doesn't surprise me.
On the dotted line for the rest of her life.
Like all of them do. It's a trap. Like, don't do it. You get one good album and then you stay on there forever. Ask Carl Thomas, okay? Well, I mean, Snoop said the same thing too, though. Snoop was at Donald Trump's roast and was like, they was doing that. He said though, he was like, yeah, he was cool then. He was like, this dude now? Oh, absolutely not.
Right. That's like, I think Mimi said that as well. There's a lot of people that were friends, and they said, we had a relationship, we were cool, but now. So I think it's a really good point of be 100% honest. You don't have to act like you were never cool with somebody if you were cool with them at one point.
Yeah, people change, people grow or don't grow, and you got to make the decisions you got to make. YG and rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle had a great song called FDT, Fuck Donald Trump. So if you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's real.
A great song.
It's a great song.
Great song. Well, that's all I have for my ratchet celebrity news.